This is Mr. Hannon. Welcome to What the Format. Today we're going to talk about math skills. We're going to be talking about evaluating functions specifically, but evaluating. Now, the word evaluate means do the math. Okay? Not all math problems can we come up with a number for an answer. When you evaluate, your final answer should be a number. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to follow forward PEMDAS. Okay, you're going to do your parentheses or grouping symbols first, whatever's inside. Then you're going to do your exponents. A lot of your functions count as exponents. Multiplication, then division. Multiplication, division, left to right. Addition, subtraction, left to right. So here's an example. Let's say I have f of x equals -3 times the absolute value of x plus 2 minus 5. And I'm told to graph this. Okay, well, there are some shortcuts to this where you can use transformations to graph this. However, the one way that always works is to make what's called an XY table. I like to do mine vertically. So here's your X, there's your Y. Now, X right here is your independent variable. That means that you get to choose the values. But with these functions, you have to be careful, okay? You don't want to just throw any numbers down here. You want the center or vertex or 0 point of this graph. Well, that occurs if you take this expression outside, it occurs where that's equal to 0. Okay? Now, once you have this set equal to 0, I see a lot of students make the mistake if they set x equal to 0. No. It's not the x, it's the expression inside. The whole expression gets set equal to 0. Now you solve for x. So the inverse of plus 2 is minus 2. What you do to one side, you do to the other. That's going to give me x equals -2. That's where you want to do your center point on your XY table. Okay, now from here, we only need 5 points. Technically, you could get by with 3, but a lot of tests and teachers and other problems require 5 points. So that's the minimum we want to practice with. So we're going to go up 1. So you add 1 here, which gives me -1. Now we add 1 here, which gives me 0. Then you subtract 1, or go down 1. Okay? Not once, but twice. Up once, down once, down once. There's your values. Now, how do we get our y's or our f's? Because these are our y values. We have to plug these numbers in. Now, this is where the evaluating comes in. I'm seeing a lot of students struggle with this. All right, so what we need to do is figure out what's going on. Well, this is our x value. So right here, when x equals -2, this is what it's going to look like. -3, where the x is, you replace it with -2. Okay, similarly, if x is -3, we're going to replace it with -3. You're just replacing your x value. Nothing else changes. That plus 2 is the same, the -3, the -5. But now, once you have a number in here, you can do the math. You can evaluate. That's what, again, evaluate means. It means what? Do the math. And we follow forward PEMDAS. So we're going to do the stuff inside the parentheses first. So right here, -2 plus 2 goes to what? 0. Now, once you've done that, now you can take the absolute value of that number, which is then what? 0. Okay? Now, this means multiply. So now you're going to multiply the -3 times 0, because that's where we are in our order of operations. We're going to get 0 minus 5. Then we're doing our just subtraction. 0 minus 5 is -5. That point is now complete. Now, of course, we have to do it how many more times? Not 5. Remember, in a lot of functions, these points will mirror. So what you get down here will be the same up there. Now, if it isn't, then you have to do 4 more problems. But that just is a matter of just substituting in for x these numbers and then doing the math. Does it take a little time? Yes, and there's the problem. A lot of students want problems to be fast. They're not fast, necessarily. You have to take it a step at a time, okay? It's like tennis. You don't win a set in one game. You actually have to win 6 games to win a set, unless you have to either go to the 7-5 rule or go to a tie break, but you have to win it a game at a time. If you don't focus on your games, you don't focus one thing at a time, you start to make mistakes and then you get frustrated. So just take it a step at a time. So now we're here, we're doing the negative 3. What do we have? Well, negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So now you have negative 3 times the absolute value of negative 1 minus 5. Well, what's the absolute value of negative 1? Recall that absolute value makes your number positive. If it's already positive, there's no change. But when it's negative, it makes it positive. So now this is negative 3 times 1 minus 5, which will then give you negative 3 minus 5, which is negative 8. That's now your number. Okay, so now you're going to plug in negative 4. What you should get is negative 11. Okay, now how did I do that? Well, I already did the math ahead of time. I knew that was going to be minus 11. What I want you to do is you practice on your own. I want you to plug the negative 4 in there and see if you can get my negative 11. And then what you do is you practice it and play with it until you see the steps, and then you can get it. And then if you want, change the numbers and try it again. Make that a 7. Set that equal to 0. Okay, so if that's a plus 7, instead of starting at negative 2, now we're starting at negative 7. Make your table, put it in practice. Now remember, for this function, these mirror. So now at this point, you would just graph, which hopefully you have your graphing skill down because you watched that video. And now there's your whole problem. And it was not fast. It took a few minutes, but that's how you do these problems. So anyway, hopefully that helped. Now the beauty of this video is you can watch it again and again. Now you have something to practice, okay? When x equals negative 4, you're going to plug that in like this, and you're going to try to see if you can get my same negative 11. And then what I would do is put these in and maybe practice with these 2 points, see if you get the same numbers as well. That gives you 3 points to practice. And if you practice and you start to see it, then hopefully you'll start to gain confidence, and a lot of these math problems you've been struggling with won't be so much an issue anymore. Anyway, thank you very much for watching What the Format. This is Mr. Hanna. Happy mathing.